welcome to the next in a series of conversations with champions of sustainability and social impact in financial services. We're Good Innovation. We help our clients in financial services turn their sustainability and social impact strategy into action and ultimately find new ways to deliver impact faster and smarter. We answer the difficult questions our clients have around ESG, from better understanding their customer motivations to embedding it in the employee experience, all the way through to creating brand new products, services and ventures with impact at their core. Today, I'm joined by James Wright, Head of Technology, and Katie Clark, Head of Product Development at Beazley Digital, both drivers of the sustainability and social impact agenda here. Over the last 6 months, we've been working with James, Katie and the team to create a pioneering new solution for their SME customers to help them have even more impact. And we're really happy to have James and Katie here today to tell us a bit more about that. So, can you introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about your role at Beazley?
Hi, I'm Katie and I'm a Product Delivery Manager at Beazley. I work in the Global Product Development team and I work alongside underwriters to deliver new products and existing products into new territories. I'm involved from product conception all the way through to launch.
I'm James. I work at Beazley Digital. We focus on our small to medium-sized businesses. My responsibilities are broadly across technology delivery and technology strategy.
We've worked really collaboratively with your team over the last 12 weeks to better understand your ESG customers and design something that meets their needs. Can you tell us a bit more about that and what you wanted to achieve?
So within digital, we focus on small to medium-sized businesses. We felt, however, that a lot of the mainstream ESG content was focused on larger enterprises and didn't necessarily resonate with smaller businesses. So we went through quite a big ideation process to try and think about how we could implement that in terms of offering a service to our clients. The main objective here is to, one, start raising awareness with our small businesses in terms of ESG. The second then is to try and prompt them to take some action. And I think our longer term objective is to figure out a way to reward or incentivize that.
Can you tell us a bit more about why it's important to you that your customers are part of your overall journey to delivering your ESG goals?
It's really important that we understand what our customer needs are, that we understand what their pain points are, what their desires are, what they kind of find beneficial. So this offering always had to have them, in the centre.
And coming into the project, how much did you know already about what your customers wanted, or would you say it was a fairly blank canvas to work from?
I think everything was on the table, wasn't it? It was a completely blank canvas.
We went out and talked to a lot of SMEs and brokers. I'm just interested to hear, was there anything that we heard in that research that either really surprised you or just confirmed some of the hunches you already had?
I was actually surprised by the kind of level of maturity of this subject. It really differed depending on which kind of broking house we was talking to. Some people were, very kind of, leading the way and had made strides in this space, whereas some others were at the beginning of their journey. One of the key findings that came out of that discovery phase of work that we did with SMEs was actually the language around ESG, and actually it didn't really resonate, with a lot of the SMEs.
As specialists, we use a lot of lingo, we use a lot of acronyms, and when you start to engage with the end client, you start to realise that we've really got to make our language simpler, easier to understand, and make it more relevant to their sort of day-to-day concerns. I think on this piece, we realised ESG as an acronym didn't resonate, but being a better business is something that seemed to really land well. And obviously that then means they're more likely to engage with it. Now we're still testing those concepts, but I think in how we communicate with our clients has probably been the biggest learning I've had in this experience.
So now we're towards the end of this piece of work. Can you just tell us a bit more about the challenges that you faced going through this project?
Our expertise is on the insurance side, not on the ESG side. Mm-hmm. So it's just finding that right balance in terms of getting our voice right, our language right, to try and incentivise them to take action, but without us appearing to be the experts. And I think partnering with people like Good Innovation and other service providers is definitely been a good way to overcome that challenge.
Oh, that's good to hear, because as you know, we've tried really hard to create those opportunities within the project for different people across Beazley to come in and engage with it, whether that's a workshop or coming and listening to one of the download sessions. And it sounds like that was really useful. So I know it's still really early days, but can you tell us a bit more about where you're at with the project? Any feedback you've had on the prototype and the potential impact it could make?
So at the moment we're in testing, about to go into conduct some quantitative testing and qualitative testing. We've identified a small group of brokers and clients that are very keen to be part of that testing process. So we'll really kind of see what comes out of that next phase. In terms of like successes that we've had, we did a small bit of testing in the kind of first discovery phase. We shared the digital prototype with that audience, and they were really excited. We had some really positive feedback. They loved the simplicity of the offering, that they could actually get to the information quickly, that we were taking them on that journey to basically help them, understand and grow their knowledge in this area. So the first kind of round of feedback has actually been really positive, and the brokers actually want to be kind of part of this process. They're quite keen to kind of do that co-creation, so to make sure that the offering that we end up with is actually going to serve the needs of their clients and that they can see that benefit for them.
Coming into this project, we were a bit worried about broker engagement and how willing they'd be to take part in some of these sessions. But actually, I think we found through the project exactly the opposite has been true. They've been really willing to do that. Why do you think that is, and what is it about this type of work which makes them a bit more open to being involved in projects like this?
Can definitely see the benefit that it has to their clients. So we're ultimately trying to make our clients, a better business. We want them to be better for their employees, for their customers, for the planet, for their stakeholders. So there is this common ground that everyone can identify that there's going to be, a benefit in it for them.
Yeah.
I think the brokers are finding that actually it's just an additional offering that they can provide to their clients. So educating themselves as well as educating them can ultimately only result in a positive outcome.
It's a win for your brokers, it's a win for your customers, and of course for Beazley as a whole. Within 6 months, you move from an insight phase to securing funding from senior leadership to prototype, test, and scale up a new service. 6 months is really quick. So can you tell us a bit more about how you've managed to keep the momentum up and get so far so quickly?
So Beazley Digital was formed a couple of years ago. In the formation of that division, we decided that to really generate velocity on outcomes, you need to bring together multidisciplinary teams under one leadership. So we're lucky that we've got technology, operations, business management, underwriting all in the same team. As part of that, we also agreed to use an OKR framework, so objectives and key results, to get everybody aligned. So to try and break down some of the traditional silos that you get in businesses. And then the third part of that is really how we organise our mindset on delivery. So the concepts around value testing, MVPs, is very much in our delivery ethos. So that's how we set the team up. So when we came to take on this ESG opportunity, we really applied a very similar framework to move it along quickly. Again, the uncertainty on value, the uncertainty on broker and client adoption was high at the start. So the concept of just testing the concept, lots of user customer engagement, that was already really embedded in the division. I think that's enabled us to move relatively quickly. And I think also across the team we've got diverse skill sets. So bringing someone like Katie in from our corporate development function, she's got a lot of the stakeholders across the business, able to bring them on the journey with us is also really important and moving fast.
I often think when we do these types of projects, I reflect on the softer benefits, some of the halo effects that this work can have. And without wanting to ask you too leading a question, I'm just really interested in what types of benefits you think this work has brought to Beazley. We've already talked a little bit about breaking down silos, but what else has there been throughout this project that you felt has benefited Beazley beyond the scope of work itself?
The cross-functional team that we've created to deliver this, it has been surrounded by positivity. I've been very lucky, that everyone has been really engaged, and I think people have actually learned through this process. So to work with yourselves, GI have been, at the core of this delivery. So your expertise, the innovation that you've managed to bring, the kind of the different way of doing things, and I think that the project manager that I've been working with day to day, has got lots of fantastic skills, super enthusiastic, great fantastic ideas, and then that kind of trickles down into the cross-functional team internally. So everyone does feel incentivised and then kind of engaged, and I think that we've been taken along that journey, and we've been educated, and we've all learned something about this topic. So I think that's kind of been really important, that you've set the tone for good innovation of how that should work, and that's definitely been kind of internally we've picked up on that.
I think the other halo effect might be around services more broadly. We've got some cyber services we provide our clients. ESG is one that we're going to be launching later this year, but we won't stop there. There's lots of ideas for other services. Probably the one thing that's been quite impactful is genuinely testing those concepts with brokers and clients before we get too far down the road.
Yeah.
Right, so not anchoring on a solution, not anchoring on an idea that somebody may have had, that being quite open at the start, exploring different avenues, and really having the brokers and the clients guide what we do. And that's at the heart of digital as well. We've said from the start we want to trade with our customers and brokers how they want to trade, and we'll be innovative and creative in how we do that. So I think that's definitely created more open mindset towards those concepts.
For me, it's stuff like that which avoids companies falling into the risk of having a strategy document and some words on a piece of paper, but actually everyone that works it doesn't feel like that's authentically embedded. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It's been really interesting to hear the story of Beazley and the project unfold. One final question just to leave everybody with. What comes next?
Well, I hope that by the end of this year we have an MVP that we can launch and continue that testing and refine it in 2024, adapting it, getting that feedback from our brokers and our clients, and making sure that we're offering them the best service possible.